with me while I tell you about how I was cheated on for 9 months. I'm gonna condense this story so much and leave out so many details because honestly, this could be a podcast episode. So it all started when I was 16 years old. I met this guy and we started talking and everything was super normal at first. He was super good. But honestly, I was going through a really difficult time in my life. My parents had just kind of gotten divorced. My family was falling apart. I had a ton of issues that I was going through. And honestly, I just feel like he kind of took advantage of me while I was at my lowest. The first 4 months were fine, I would say. And then he kind of started getting a little bit crazy. He never wanted to meet my friends. He didn't want to take me to his prom. He was lying to me about a lot of stuff. And I don't know, vibes were just kind of weird. He, didn't really like a lot of things about me and, really wanted me to change myself, to fit into, his narrative. The first year we were together, he wouldn't get me anything for my birthday. He wouldn't spend Valentine's Day with me. He was just, honestly not a good boyfriend. But, again, I was going through a really hard time in my life, and his family kind of became my rock, so I kind of was just sticking it out because I was super close with everybody. We're together from my junior to senior year in high school. Honestly, things are fine. We fight a lot, but it's fine, I guess. Then as we're about to go off to college, he wanted to go to college in Chicago and I was going to college in Tampa. I wanted to break up because I kind of wanted to get the college experience, not really going to college with a long distance boyfriend. And honestly, I had already kind of thought he had cheated on me. So I assumed that he was going to cheat on me again. So we go to college and literally in the first week, it's just so bad. Not answering me, going to girls' apartments, going out all hours of the night. It was my birthday the first week of college, treated me like crap on my birthday. He hated that I was going through sorority recruitment. He thought I was a sellout. I had this crazy intuition. If you know me and are close with me, I will have dreams or thoughts about things happening and then they will happen the day after or shortly after. I don't know if it's woman intuition. I don't know if I'm just literally crazy. I have no idea. One night I literally wake up out of my sleep, literally bawling, crying, and I text him. I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? Something's going on. I literally could just feel it in my bones. He's like, yeah, everything's fine. Love you. Go back to bed. Blah, blah, blah. The next day we're on FaceTime. He's being so weird. I'm like, something fucking is going on. He calls me literally bawling, crying 2 days after, and he's like, I cheated on you, blah, blah, blah. He tried to lie about the way he cheated on me, which now obviously I know wasn't a lie. Again, I'm not going to give details, but he kind of made himself out to be a victim. I freaked out. I had a plane ticket to go fly and see him the week after he cheated on me, so I made him Venmo me for my plane ticket. I literally bugged the freak out on him. And then whatever, he was like, it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. It didn't mean to happen. Please, I'll do anything. He was sending me love letters. He was sending me flowers. He was crying all the time. He was calling me. He was just freaking out. So then we go home for a break in October and I see him and he's like, please get back together with me. I love you, blah, blah, blah. I'm dumb, so I fall for it. We get back together. I visit him in Chicago. Again, he's just an asshole to me, whatever. We go through all of my freshman year being together. The summer of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year of college, oh my God, it was so awful. He hated me our entire relationship, and I think I just never knew it. But that whole summer was terrible, and I remember in August, I was at his house, and he was sitting on the couch ignoring me. So his mom took me to go get food with her, and she literally was like, you don't deserve this, honestly, this is ridiculous. And she left to go do something, and I walked back into the house, and I was like, I'm breaking up with you. You treat me terribly. So I break up with him and then I go back to college. Again, my birthday is at the beginning of the semester. It's the end of August. He calls me on my birthday, sends flowers to my apartment, is sending me gifts. Emma, I love you so much. I need you back. You are the love of my life. This man was putting in the work to get back together with me. Literally the fucking work. Again, you guys, I am stupid and I was falling for it. So we were still talking every day. We were having FaceTime sleepovers. like literally like planning like our marriage and our children and like blah blah blah. Again, so stupid. We go home for Thanksgiving. He is crying in my bed. I can't lose you. I will do anything, literally saying the most like down bad pathetic things that a man should never say. I'm low-key gonna skip over the next part of the story because this is like actually like where the villain really awful things that he did came in. But basically something happened. You guys literally can just scroll and figure out what happened to me. And basically got blamed for everything. And I later found out that he used the thing that happened to me as an excuse to his other girlfriend on why he was still talking to me.
This happened to Emma. She has nobody else. Her family isn't really around, and I just have to be there for her. I have to be there for her. She has nobody else.
When our break happens, I literally am living at his parents' house. I spend Thanksgiving with them. I spend Christmas with them. I spend New Year's with them. Literally, just like we are together, spending every holiday together, spending the holidays with his family, with his grandparents, literally skipping out on my family holidays for this man. Keep in mind, this whole time I was low-key sus of him. There was like this one girl that I was just like really kind of sus of, and I actually ended up DMing her like around Thanksgiving, and yeah, like basically she was like, yeah, it's like nothing's going on, like whatever. We leave to go back to school, and I remember just like crying my eyes out when he was leaving because honestly I just kind of knew that like we were like never gonna see each other again. Like I don't know why, but again I just had this crazy intuition. January goes along. He's literally like blah blah blah, you're the love of my life. If you sleep with anybody else, I will literally kill you. Like, FaceTime sleepovers, you've called the whole gist. You guys already know. This is just keeps repeating itself. One day, again, I couldn't sleep, and I go to my DM request on Instagram, and literally 3 minutes before I did that, I had gotten a DM from this girl. We're gonna call her Becca. Becca DM'd me and said, hey, are you with his name? We're going to call him James. Hey, are you and James together? I respond with, yeah, like, kinda, why? She calls me on the phone. She tells me that they have been together since, like, 3 days before my birthday. Like, she literally tells me the exact date that they had, like, first, like, hung out. We three-way call this motherfucker. He is such a fucking dick. I literally, oh my God, like, he is literally insane. I call his mom. I tell him he is addicted to blank. I'm like, fuck him. I don't even care. Like, I'm literally gonna ruin your life now. Becca is like, yeah, telling me all this stuff he said about me. Like, literally, he just, like, lied on my name about everything. Told this girl that the only reason he still talks to me is because he feels bad for me and I have nobody in my life and, like, I don't have a relationship with my parents. Which is not true, by the way, obviously. I block him on everything, and he keeps making fake numbers to text me. Like, literally, he would make a fake number, text me, beg for me back. Then I block that number. He'd make another fake number, text me, beg for me back, call me, send me paragraphs. Like, literally, he was insane. Me and the girl literally, like, ended up, like, comparing text messages. He would text us the exact same things. Like, he had just moved into this new house. He sent us the exact same video. He would wear my clothes around her clothes around me, vice versa. I had a stuffed animal named Tortuga that I gave to him when he went to college. Tortuga literally was on his bed, and he lied to her about Tortuga. And, like, they would, like, well, my stuffed animal was on his bed. The first time he told her that he loved her was when I was sleeping next to him on New Year's Eve. He would send us the exact same TikToks, literally the same, like, Instagram memes. Then one day I had a dream that the two of them got back together, so I texted her and I said, hey, are you guys back together? Spoiler alert, they were, and they still are together to this day, I think. I don't know, I haven't really checked up on them. He literally was still texting me, like, basically while they were back together, begging for me back. Having one significant other is so draining enough. I don't know how he had two. Anyways, yeah, that's where my villain origin story started. Thank you, James, for ruining my life.
how I found out that I got cheated on Valentine's Day. This was a very long time ago, so I am definitely over it, but I think it's a funny story to tell. This happened with my ex. We were together for 4 years. He lived in San Jose. I lived in Stockton. We did meet in San Jose. I'm from San Jose, but I moved out here and then we're doing like long distance. He planned this whole dinner. He took me to sushi. He got me a nice gift, paid for everything. When I tell you guys, the bar was on the floor. He was treating me so nice to the point that it made me suspicious. Never does all of this. I know, I'm so embarrassed, but I used to pay for mostly everything, so it was definitely like out of the ordinary for me, to the point where like my intuition just went off. Something is wrong. And since I lived in Stockton, I was planning to sleep over that night anyway, so I thought in my head, as soon as this man falls asleep, I am gonna check his phone. He had this problem with this one girl that he would talk to all the time. He actually became best friends with her on Snapchat. I wasn't even his best friend no more, so he would Snapchat her more than he would Snapchat me, and I already had a problem with this, but again, I was the cool girlfriend and I thought it was okay and normal for guys to have a ton of girlfriends. So the first thing I go do is go check his Snapchat, and he had deleted messages with her, so I didn't really get to see anything. Just started to think, I'm like, this guy posted me today, like posted our dinner date, so I'm gonna check who did he block from watching his story. Look at the block list. This girl was blocked from viewing his story, and I just knew. My stomach dropped to the floor. I had a feeling where I just knew he was cheating on me with this girl, because why else would he not want her to see our stories? I literally wake his ass up in the middle of the night and I'm all like, just be honest with me. Seeing that you blocked her from watching our stories, did you cheat on me? Like, I just said it like that, and he just stares at me with like a blank face, and you could tell he was like contemplating, and he just admits that he cheated on me. I was just like, what do you mean? Did you just kiss her? Did you just go on a date with her? He was like, no, like, I cheated on you. I was so heartbroken, but I wanted to know everything. Like, I made him tell me everything. When did it happen? How did it happen? What did you guys do? Where did you guys do it at? Like, he did tell me, and then he started breaking down. He was hitting himself. He told me that he wanted to off himself when he did it, that he regretted it so much, and he was begging me not to leave. Such a narcissist. Like, I should have been the one crying. I was really young and dumb. Never again. I did stay with him for a little bit after that, but it wasn't because I wanted to. Honestly, in my young head, I didn't want him to be with that girl. I stayed with him, but I like came up with like my exit plan. Like, I started slowly checking out. I started going to the gym, going out with friends. At some point where I actually started talking to a few other guys. So when that happened, I was like, okay, it's time for me to just exit out of this relationship. I did break up with him. Glad that I left when I left, because as you guys know, like, I've lost over 80 pounds since I broke up with him. I built a platform. I became a coach. I'm currently with this beautiful, tall, blue-eyed, sexy, protective, masculine man who takes care of me and treats me like a freaking queen. You know, we all live and learn. Now I'm a little more wiser. Sometimes you need to get your heart broken by a frog in order to find your Prince Charming. So everything happens for a reason, ladies.
I found out that my fiance was cheating on me right in the middle of his proposal to me, like literally as it was happening. Now, I was madly in love with this man. I was head over heels, would do whatever he said. If he said jump, I would say how high. At the time, we had been dating for about 2 years, maybe a little bit under 2 years. And the fact that he was even proposing was a shock to me, because even though that I was madly in love with him, I didn't quite feel that we were ready for it. But one day, he just decided to surprise me, took me to Orlando for a little bit of fun at the amusement parks, because, you know, I like to get down like that with some childish, lighthearted fun. So once we got to the amusement park, he decides to sign up to be a contestant on one of the competition games performances that they had at this theme park. So right before the show is about to start and he's about to start to compete, he hands me over his cell phone and says, babe, please film this. I want you to see what's going to happen. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. How much fun. Like, this is my dream come true. Competition starts. There was like 3 or 4 events that he had to compete with others to win. And ultimately, he won. But remember, I'm filming, right? And I'm filming from his cell phone that he told me to hold. So here I am with his little cell phone filming, all excited, all proud of my man. He starts to receive text messages that are popping up on the screen. The text messages turned out to be from his mistress that he's been messing with the whole time we are together. And she's pissed. She's really pissed. I guess that morning he had texted her to let her know, like, hey, it's over between us because I'm about to get engaged today. And she threw a shit fit, even though she herself was married. So at this point, my heart absolutely drops and like I want to vomit. And I'm sitting here in a crowd with hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people, trying to keep my hands steady and filming what's happening as he's proposing and announcing it to this whole freaking stadium full of people. But I really know what's happening as I'm seeing these texts flash across the screen. Trauma. Deep breaths, Tiffany. Deep breaths. Now listen, I am not the type of girl that likes it when people see me sweat. I keep my cool. I just smile and I pretend that I'm the just most elated, happiest woman on the planet. So since this proposal has been blasted all over the big screen, that everyone around me is so excited for me, they're congratulating me, and I'm just like in shock and awe. I somehow managed to keep my composure and to just walk outside of the stadium and wait for him outside. Once he shows up, he immediately gives me a huge hug, tells me that he loves me, and of course, does the proposal again to my face this time, not just on the big screen. There's so many people watching. Remember, we're in the middle of a theme park with thousands of people. So I quickly grab him and drag him into the nearest restaurant in this theme park that I could find. And I bring him over to the bar area and I sit him down and I tell him everything that I know. He didn't try to deny it. He knew that he was caught. And for the next 30 minutes, he proceeded to just tell me everything that he thought that I wanted to hear. And I was just numb. The only words that I could manage to muster up at this point were, baby, this 2-carat diamond ring, it's just not going to be enough.
Get ready with me as I explain how my boyfriend of 3 years cheated on me. First red flags whenever I found out he would download and delete Facebook every single day so I wouldn't see that he was following all these girls, because he made it very clear in our relationship that we did not follow the other gender. So whenever I found out, I confronted him. And he was just like, oh no, just because we're friends on Facebook does not mean that I follow them back. I would not do that. So he went with that lie for a while. And then I was not budging. I was like, if you're friends on Facebook, you obviously follow them back. So then he tried to say, I only followed my cousins back. And I was like, you follow 2 of your cousins. And you only have like 2 girl cousins. And then he said, oh, I only follow girls from my hometown. This man was following girls in like every single county 4 hours away, so I was not about to let that slide. So I was like, if you don't quit lying to me, we're gonna be done. Like, I finally had enough, because this went on for like a whole entire day. So then finally he was like, okay, I followed him back. Whenever a girl would follow me, I would just click all the way down and follow all of them. So then we argued for the entire night, and then the next day, until we FaceTimed that night. When we was FaceTiming, we was finally like, okay or whatever, and then he was telling me how he wanted to get my eyes tattooed on his arm and how he couldn't wait to marry me, and he was like, what all do you want in your boo basket? And I was like, a Marc Jacobs purse. So this man was quite literally putting in his information right then to order me one, okay? And I get this requested DM. Usually I don't answer my requested DMs, but I did that time. And it was a hey girly text. So in the text, she was like, hey girly, I just wanted you to know that your boyfriend constantly unadds and adds me on Snapchat all the time, and he tells me that he does not have a girlfriend, and he asks for pics every single time. And then she was like, I just found out he had a girlfriend, so I wanted to text you and let you know. So I screenshot it and I sent it to him, and he leaves me on open for like 3 minutes. And then he calls me and I'm like, is this true? He takes a long pause and he's like, yeah. So once he said yeah, I started crying, and then he started crying, and he was like, I don't know why I did it, I have no idea why I did it, I lusted. That's what he said. He was like, I was lusting, I'm so sorry. So honestly, that night's kind of a blur because I was crying so much, but that's besides the point. I hung up on him that night, and then the next morning he sent me like a paragraph apologizing, and that was really the only time he said sorry. Yeah, so after that, we was in contact for like 1 day because I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to lie to his parents about why we broke up, because I was just like, I was already knowing he was about to be lying. So I made him like send me proof of him telling his parents the truth. And after that, I like blocked him on literally every platform besides I think like TikTok and Messages. Since it was during the hurricane, we did not have school for 2 weeks, and we did not have no contact. So then we go to school and we have a class together, and he sits like pretty close to me, and he looks at me and he was like, did you block me on Messages? And I just like stared at him blankly because I didn't. And I was just like, And he was like, I'm gonna take that as I want it. So after class, he like texted me a whole paragraph how sorry he was, and I was so perfect. You don't know why he did. He was just so sorry. And I just said okay back. But then the next day, the teacher moved him to sit beside me. So we're talking, and I tell him, I was like, I only believe somebody can change if it's through God. So he took that and he ran with it. He really, really ran with it. He would send me like book-long paragraphs about God and how he wanted to be a godly man for me because he had really bad problems with lust and everything. And he would like send me devotionals and everything, and he bought me like over $200 worth of stuff, like a $70 phone case, $85 Lulu bag that he would ship to my house. He would bring me food, coffee to school. He would put notes in my book bag. He would put like Starbucks gift cards on my windshield. Like anything you wanted your ex to do or say, he was doing it. And I told him, I was like, I would never even consider getting back together with you unless it was after we graduated and you like did this until then, which I would be like 7 months or more. And he was all for it. He said he was 100% committed to it, and I told him, I made it very clear. I said, is there anything that I need to know? Of course he was like, no, you know everything. Well, I in fact did not know everything. One random night he called me, and I just had this weird feeling that there was something I was missing. So I really pretended that I knew something that I didn't, and I like interrogated him for like 10 minutes, and he was sticking to his word, but then he started crying, and after he started crying, I knew. So he had kissed a girl during our no contact for 2 weeks, and it was the same girl that I pointed out in his block list because in class he blocked every single girl on Snapchat for me. Did not tell me to do that, he just did it, and he was scrolling through, and I like told him, I was like, stop on her name, and I was like, oh, you know her? And he was like, no, she was just on there, I don't know her, I just like didn't even snap her, she was just on my Snapchat, so she got blocked. So yeah, it was that girl. So after that, I blocked him on messages, and then I went to go block him on TikTok, and he had sent me a whole paragraph about how I was the best thing in his life, and he ruined the best thing he would ever get, all kind of stuff. So then I blocked him on there too. And then I found out during those 2 weeks, he had convinced this girl that he kissed that he was like in love with her or something, and she even like made him a boo basket, and then he cut it off right after. Like, ugh. So we still had that class together for a while, and he would just be like really petty and try to get a reaction out of me, and I wouldn't even look at him. So it's like not even no contact, just like I'm never speaking to you again. But apparently he's talking like really bad about me now for some reason. I'm really confused on like what I did. But, and it hasn't even been 3 months since all this happened, and he already has a new girlfriend. So moral of the story is, don't ever say that your man would never, because he would.
Get ready with me for school, except today I'm breaking up with my cheating boyfriend. I've been up since probably 5 a.m. and it's 5:50 right now, but my stomach feels like nervous, so I have not been able to go back to sleep. So just to give a little bit of background, I've known about this since yesterday at the point that he added her back. I knew about this the whole time. So at first he was just like, we're just gonna call this girl Abigail. Her name is not Abigail, but he was just like, hey Abigail, how are you? And she was just like, hey, because they used to be a thing before. So of course he's gonna want to snap her and stuff, but he was just like, hey Abigail, how are you? And then she was like, oh my gosh girl, he added me back, he's texting me, what do you want me to say? I'm gonna help you out here. If he cheats, I'm gonna tell you. I was like, okay, thank you. And then he was like, I was like, just tell him that you like his hair or something, because I know that he knows that he just, because he got a buzz over the summer and now he has his hair back. So I was like, just say that you like his hair or something. And so she did. He was like, thank you Abigail, I've just been growing it out, I don't even really like it that much. Now mind you, he did tell her that he had a girlfriend, and she was like, oh well, can we also, she was doing this all she did not mean anything. She did this all for me because she after he added her back, she wanted to catch him with me. She was just like, oh well then can we just friends and like snap as friends. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. But if you get on my best friends list, I'm gonna have to unadd you, but I'll add you back later. And it just went completely downhill from there. He like asked her to FaceTime, and that's where I finally was like, oh my god, he's gonna cheat on me. Then he sent her a picture of his legs and was like, you like ? And then he started asking her for like pictures, like, example, let me see it. And I have a feeling, a small feeling, he's gonna try to tell me that this was not cheating. Also, I just want to throw that in there. Anyways, I then gave her like full permission. I was like, girl, get like, just do whatever you want, because at this point it's gone too far, and so you might as well just keep it going. So then it did, as a matter of fact, to keep going. He sent her his abs pictures, and that's where I really lost it and started having a full-on mental breakdown. Then she had to go to practice, so she was like, I gotta go, and he was like, all right, hurry, I want to see you. Then later she got back, and he hung up on me and was like, I was upset, I was crying, but I just told him I had a bad day. But no, it was because I knew about him cheating on me. But he was like, all right, I'll just leave you alone. If you want to be alone, that's okay. You can just spend this night alone. Like, okay. Yeah, then whenever they were on FaceTime, I did get a screen recording of it. He's like laughing, and he's just like, and like has his shirt off, and of course he has like muscles, so like his arms up just to like show his like muscles. And this whole time I'm like losing it. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I cannot believe that he would do this. Like, this is so messed up. Then he started telling her, sorry, I'm looking for my Aquaphor, but then he started telling her that what they had over the summer, which was just snapping back and forth, was the favorite thing that he's ever had. Then he starts making a second Snap account, and she tells me about it, but he made a second Snap account so that I wouldn't see it. Now here's like the end of it, but he was like, Abigail, you're so hot. Like, we really need to hang out. I just want to make you feel good. I'm just like really turned on right now. And then he unadded her, so I'm guessing he's just gonna unadd her for the night, and then probably, or for the day, and then probably just add her back at night so that I won't see it. But little does he know, he won't have to do that because I'm gonna break up with him. But I may not seem affected now, but honestly, I really loved this man, and I'm really sad that this is happening because I honestly did not want to break up. I even considered not breaking up even after I found out that he cheated me, but I would just never be able to trust him again. So, ladies and gents, this is your sign to not cheat. Don't cheat on your significant other, because I'm just saying people find out everything, and I'm glad that this happened because I'm guessing he's doing this with about 5 other girls right now. I have a plan for how I'm going to break up with him, and that includes taking a video, so let me know if you want to see that. I'll probably post it on my spam for sure, but I don't know about on this account. But if you're still watching, you're a real one, and I'm going to post an update tomorrow.